Hello, children! Welcome back to our series of originals versus remakes. Today is quite the interesting one. We are talking about The Fog from 1980 and the remake that followed it. So, this is one of John Carpenter's. I thought it was gonna be great because John Carpenter in the 80s was a saint. He made Halloween. He made The Thing. Or The Thing maybe came out in the 70s, I don't know.
I think The Thing came out in the 80s. Could be wrong, but yeah.
But yeah. And then me and Evan watched The Fog. And by the end of it, we were damn near half asleep.
I
Then
was watching it
we...
late at night, but I was wide awake at that time.
Then we watched the original, and we were probably asleep by the end of it. Either asleep or having nightmares of this movie.
And they said how bad. Specifically the remake, but
So,
the original's not terrible.
We're gonna talk about the original, we're gonna talk about the remake, you know the drill. So, the original right off the bat came out in the year 1980. Starred Jamie Lee Curtis and Tom Atkins. Tom Atkins was coming off of Halloween 3, the amazing sequel to Halloween, said no one. or some of the people in the horror community that don't have, you know, their brains screwed on a little tight. So, right off the bat, my positives with The Fog, the 1980, the film is competent. It's competently made. It looks good visually. The cinematography is all there, great, you know, and it's expected when you have John Carpenter behind the camera, you know. The score, again, John Carpenter, you know, I don't think you would ever hear that John Carpenter wrote or composed a bad score, you know. All of that is great. The effects are really good also. This is all practical effects. I love the effects of the fog when it comes in and it has like this light up effect. You know, I love that. That's such good shit. I love that. It looks really cool visually. When the pirates come on and they're all like silhouettes in that light, it looks fucking awesome. Badass shit. The story is a fun enough story. I personally really like it. It's interesting. It's like pirates and, you know, ghosts. You know, it's different for John Carpenter considering he did The Thing and then he did Halloween, which is funny because it's like you look at those movies and they're kind of realistic movies, and then you get to this and it's like you know, it's kind of like a horrific bedtime story. You know, and it works. I think it works at least.
I mean, the beginning kind of was then to be like that. With the campfire and everything.
The nighttime sequences also really work. You know, John Carpenter, suspense, you know, tension, all there from John Carpenter. One scene I really like in particular is when the mother and her boyfriend, I guess, they're talking over the phone, and then the pirates come to his house, and it's like really suspense. It's like, oh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And you know, he dies eventually off screen, which, you know, fuck it, off screen. Another scene that I really like. Yeah, tell that to like what Friday the 13th Part 7. Was that the one that was like totally ruined by the NPAA? Probably. Pretty sure that was.
Yeah, I think that was it.
It was either that one or Part 5 that was really weird, but then again, there's no fucking
It was
saving
probably
Part
Part
5. There's no fucking saving Part 5. That movie's terrible. Another thing that I really like is when the babysitter dies. I don't know, I just really like that scene. I like how the kid is like, oh, I want to see who it is, I want to see who it is, and the babysitter's like, no, just go inside. And then she opens the door and nobody's there, and then they fucking murder her ass. Violently, but not violently. I don't know, it's kind of a little bit comical when she dies. Because she's just like, oh! And they capture her. It looks silly. Also,
Yeah,
I really
I
like
was just laughing inside. It's just like you had it coming. You said it yourself.
I like the kills. They're okay. They're about on the same range as Halloween for me. I like the first set of kills when they killed those 3 sailors. I like those kills a lot. The babysitter kill again, I really like that one. Yeah, the kill. The boyfriend's kill, I guess it's fine. Those are the only kills I can remember. Oh, and the priest at the end, which we'll talk about at the end.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay, that's all I have for positives. Negative, this movie is fucking boring as shit.
The pacing is ridiculously slow.
This movie, it starts out really cool. It starts out with the story of the fog and the pirates and how these people wronged them. And, you know, it starts out, it's really interesting. Then we get to Jamie Lee Curtis's character, who's not very good in this movie at all. Just like, she honestly is about as good as she was in Prom Night. She's pretty much playing the same character. That's how I saw it. She's not really good in this movie, and that breaks my heart. I don't know what it is. If it's not Halloween, she's not really all that good. In horror, at least. Because I know she's a good actor and never anything else. But, you know, when it comes to horror, you know, the only horror movies I've seen that she was good in are Halloween 1, 2, H2O, and the new one. And if she was not good in that new one, I would have been even more infuriated at that movie than I already am. But yeah, this movie is fucking boring. Every daytime scene is so boring. Holy shit, it's so boring.
Like,
nothing.
I can make a burger, like grill a burger, like outside, like around like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, like in the afternoon. It's just like, oh yeah, and like would not have missed anything.
It's so
like the pacing would just start to ramp up. Like, oh, they missed anything. Sweet. It's like you pause the movie and just play it after before the action sequence.
It's really so uninteresting. I fucking hate the first half of this movie is so bad. If it's not focusing on the pirates or people dying, it's boring. It's really boring.
Also, it's really cheesy.
But yeah, I kind of like the cheesiness
on the same screen. I don't like it. No,
well, we were gonna get to that. The characters in this movie, outside of 3, are not interesting at all. Outside of the mother, the little boy, and the babysitter to a certain extent, the babysitter to me is a personal favorite of mine for whatever reason. I like the babysitter. But outside of those 3 people, to me, I don't like any of the characters. Tom Atkins plays the exact same character from Halloween 3. It's not good.
Really almost identical.
You know, Jamie Lee Curtis, again, we just touched on it. I really did not like her in this movie. She's not bad, but she's not good either. She's just kind of there reading lines. Again, other than I like the mother. She was cool. I like one of my favorite scenes in particular is when all the power starts going out and she starts freaking out because her son is in the house and she sees that the fog is going over there. I like that scene a lot.
Yeah, like... Yeah, I really do it. But personally, I like the priest a lot. I don't know why. Like, I know he's not like that much of a good character, but like...
I don't know. Those scenes were boring to me, so...
except the last 10 minutes.
I guess.
Beginning of the movie, when the priests were on the screen for the first
I did
time,
like,
yeah, it was boring.
I guess I did like that, how, like, everything was breaking and shit. That was cool. Again, it's all practical effects. You know, it's not the remake. So I guess that's another positive. The ending is kind of cool. Not the last scene, but the last 10 minutes is pretty entertaining. Yeah, the third act I would say gets increasingly better, but it's not anything to write home about. Again, the pacing sucks. The cinematography is really good. In the end, the ending to me makes no fucking sense. Evan had an explanation for me. I guess accepted it, but I still don't like the ending. So
I don't like it either.
they put an emphasis on the fact that 6 people have to die because that's how many people wronged the pirates back in the day.
And it was on the board too.
So they confirmed that an alternative for this would be giving them some treasure. I'm telling you, this movie makes no fucking sense. It's silly.
It's literally a golden cross. It's literally a golden cross.
Which, again, listen, I'm totally down for campiness. You know, if you want to say that, oh, the pirates will go away because it's treasure, that's funny. I'm okay with that. That's hilarious to me. But the last scene in this movie makes no sense because the pirates go away. They show the pirates going away, and then they come back and kill the priest anyway. It makes no sense. I don't understand. I've never this is the second time I'm watching this movie now. I don't know. Let me take a sip of my cold beverage before I destroy the remake.
Here, what I would have liked personally is, like, you know, like when both what was it, Blake was the main pirate, whatever, was that his name?
I think so. I don't know.
Whatever, the rich guy that was leading the whole thing, and the priest. And remember how they were like holding the cross, and then like they're going across, it was literally like lighting up and burning. I would have liked it if both of them died at the exact same time, and the rest of the scene carried out without the priest. That would have been a lot better, in my opinion, instead of having the priest getting decapitated by Blake.
I mean, the kill was nice.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, I love the kill. It's just.
But again, it just doesn't. It does not make sense.
I mean, yeah, 6 person, also the priest.
I'll tell you this much. The ending to the original is leaps and bounds better than the ending to the original.
Don't even get me started on the remake.
The remake. Okay. Number 1 issue. This is a kind of remake I don't like. You take a movie, you remake it. What do? You repeat everything the original did wrong. Or you repeat everything the original did and you do it 3 times worse.
This was 3 times worse. There were a lot of things that were different about the remake, but just made the movie so much worse.
I told Evan something before he watched the remake. I said, you know what? The reason that I feel The Fog has respect is because it is a John Carpenter movie. It has the score of John Carpenter, the cinematography of John Carpenter, and it has that production value. It's not like Prom Night. I feel like if Prom Night was done by John Carpenter, it would have been much better. Or at least looked better, because Prom Night just looks like a fucking made-for-TV movie.
It looks like a TV survival, like, drama series.
Yeah. So, you take John Carpenter out, the remake. What do you get? You get the version that the original would have been without John Carpenter. The movie looks like shit, has stock music that is horrendous, and is horrendous. The movie tries nothing new at all except for one thing at the end that's so stupid. The acting is horrendous outside of the actress who plays the mother from the original.
Hey, B. I personally don't like on the radio. She sounds too dramatic and not like
no,
but
like that's
creepy
the
in
point.
a good way.
That's the point.
I don't like it. But I like her acting as like the mother trying to protect
I
her.
thought she was
I like
good.
that part.
I thought she was good. The kid is terrible. Not nearly as good as the kid from the original.
The kid literally acts like a brat. In the original, I was hoping the kid wouldn't die.
I'm gonna take a scene.
Like,
I'm gonna take a scene from the original and compare it to the same scene in the remake because it happens beat for beat. So in the original, when the radio station catches on fire and the mother has a freak out, she calls her son and tells her, "Don't go to the beach." The mom and the kid is like, "But mom, I really want to go. Please, can I go?" And the mom tells her, "No." And he sounds upset, and she goes, Are you mad at me or whatever? And he goes, "No." This movie, the same thing happens, and it's just like, Oh, I don't want you going to the beach. Okay, bye.
And then goes to the beach anyway.
Yeah, and then goes to the beach anyway. No emotional weight.
Like, this kid literally, like, sounds like how I would talk like to other people, like my age, or like, oh, it's like, hey, dude, alright, cool, see you, man. Like, kids are, like, literally, it's just like, what, mom? This kid literally sounds like he's, like, matured, like, 10 times, like a couple, twice his age. But in the body of a 9-year-old.
If you thought the original was boring.
Oh, this takes it to a whole new level besides the ending.
Oh my god. I had just taken a shower. I wake up at 2 in the afternoon. I had just taken a shower. I was refreshed. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch the Fog remake today so I can review it with Evan. 20 minutes into this movie, I was getting restless. This movie is so boring. It is so boring. Nothing happens in this movie. It's literally, the reason that it's boring is because it takes so much from the original. So when you do that, it makes it predictable. In a bad way. There's an old saying, bad predictable is bad, good predictable is good. For example, we all predicted in Endgame that they would use the time stone or something, something like time travel was going to be an important role in the movie. We all predicted it and it happened. But we didn't sit there saying, oh my god, I predicted that they were going to do time travel. I'm so mad. We all wanted that to happen. So it's not a bad predictable. It's a good predictable because we knew what was right. This predictable is stupid because we already know what's going to happen. So when it happens, aka most of the scenes that happen in this movie, I was like, oh, well, this is going to happen and this is going to happen. Literally, there's so many scenes that are, it's just like The Lion King. Only this movie tries things different. The Lion King didn't fucking try at all. This movie at least tried. But The Lion King, everything happens beat for beat. So when fucking Simba goes into the forest and meets up with Pumbaa and Timon, you're like, oh, here comes Hakuna Matata. When you see Simba walking with Scar in the valley, you know, oh, here comes the scene with the oh my god, I forgot the name of that animal. You guys know the scene where Mufasa dies. That scene.
Defend the objective.
Yeah.
That scene. You know, oh, here comes that scene's coming up. Here we go. That is my experience with this movie. Predictable as fuck and lame as fuck. The jump scares.
Oh yeah. No.
You know, at least John Carpenter has good jump scares. This fucking movie has some of the funniest jump scares in history. There's a scene where somebody dies because the pirate sticks it. Oh, they changed the way the babysitter dies in this movie. It's not nearly as effective as the way it was in the original. But when it happened, I laughed so hard because the jump scare was so predictable. I was like, 3, 2, 1. Oh no, the pirate's in the garbage disposal, and her guys. They tried making her like turn deformed. The special effects. Oh
I was
my
laughing
god.
when that happened.
I laughed so hard.
rolling.
I was dying. I was crying of laughter. It was so fucking funny. And the way she dies is just funny. She like decomposes and then she just smacks on the floor and is just dead. I was like, oh my god. It was hilarious. There's another jump scare. Oh my god, it's so fucking dumb. Every jump scare, every fucking jump scare is just so predictable and lame.
The Imperial attack will continue. We must protect these people.
Not a single character in this movie is likable at all. I don't give a shit about any characters. They're the same characters from the original, which I was disappointed by. I don't care. I don't know why you couldn't just have new characters. Why did you need to bring... These characters are not iconic in the slightest. Unless you want to give that Babysitter of the Year award 'cause she died for her client. I guess so. None of these characters are iconic. Jeremy Lee Curtis is not iconic in that movie in the slightest. Tom Atkins is not iconic. Nobody. No character. You cannot. I would not name you one character from that movie right now, and I just watched it 2 days ago. I don't remember a single character's name. They're unmemorable as shit and forgettable. This movie cranks that shit up to 11. I don't give a shit about any character. They even got the guy from Smallville for this movie. He's so unlikable. He's not unlikable, he just doesn't do anything. He's just a generic horror movie hero. And it's lame. Not even the fucking, like, the mother is the only likable character. I guess. That's because of the acting. So let's talk about the changes from the original to the remake. The only one.
The ending.
So apparently they show the scene they didn't show in the original, which, you know, we've said it time and time again, less is more, but you know, the people that made this movie have 0 brain cells and IQ of fucking 2. They show the pirates getting fucked, right? And they show that the girlfriend to Mr. Smallville over here was on the boat, and the old guy was on the boat too. So it's like, why? I don't get it. So then it shows them again, and then honestly, do you even understand this ending? Because I don't. Hand over heart, I don't fucking get it.
Like, yeah, it's I was so confused on this ending. I did some research into it, but like,
I did not get it at all.
It was like this weird. I think they're trying to do this weird thing where it's just like, oh, the soul of his lover got lost, and then I think the chick's name in the remake is Elizabeth. I think
it's the same. It's Jamie Lee Curtis's character from the original.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Which I found funny.
So I'm guessing her soul was in her, or she was a relative. I don't know.
I guess. I don't know. Point is, they showed her on the boat, then they showed her in real life. It makes no sense. Then a bunch of CGI ghosts show up, which it just looked like a fucking episode of Scooby-Doo. That's how bad the ghost looked. The special effects in the live-action Scooby-Doo were better than this.
I don't know about you, but remember the scene where the mayor was just burning?
Oh yeah, that was funny.
That was... I was gonna say, am I the only one that was laughing at that scene?
That was funny. But, yeah, so like some ghosts come and they like suck her soul back and she becomes a ghost again. And the boyfriend's like, oh no, you became a ghost again. And then the movie ends.
We must retreat one last time. Rally and await.
Yeah, the CGI with her and the ghost it's just... I was cringing when I was watching it. I couldn't stand it.
It looked like, if you guys have ever seen Harry Potter, which I know there's Harry Potter fans out there, and if there aren't, what are you guys doing? There's I'm pretty sure it's Prisoner of Azkaban that they show up. It's either Prisoner of Azkaban or Chamber of Secrets. The ghosts that roam around the school, the comic relief ghosts, that's what they look like. I swear to God. I looked at that. No, not the Dementors. The like the spirits.
Yeah. I was like, wait, not Prisoner of Azkaban. It's not the Dementors. What?
That's what I saw. But let's go on and compare the remake to the original. Well, you guys can probably predict. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but the fog literally just seems like a really terrible horror version of Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know if that's just me.
I don't know.
It literally reminded me of Pirates of the Caribbean. I couldn't, with the ship and everything, the crew. Oh.
I don't know. I haven't seen Pirates of the Caribbean in years, so I can't really comment on that. I haven't seen them since I was a little kid, so I never understood them. I just watched them for the sword fights.
old Jack Sparrow.
So let's compare these two. The original has a way better score because of John Carpenter. The original has way better effects and acting, even though it's nothing to write home about. The original has better pacing, if that's even fucking possible. And that's pretty much it.
Not to mention, it has the remake has a lot more useless scenes than the original. Especially the scene where the chick loses the videotape.
Oh yeah, that was so.
And like drowning in seaweed.
That's
Like,
it. Obviously, the original is better, not by that much. I'm actually glad we got this one out the way because this is the only one on the list that I was kind of looking forward to, and it just disappointed me miserably, honestly. The next one we're gonna do, I don't even know. It's either gonna be My Bloody Valentine, because Evan really wants to do it, or Pet Cemetery. I kind of want to save the Halloween one for last. But that is gonna do it. You can tell I have no fucking energy. My energy is reflective of this both these boring ass movies. But thank you guys so much for watching this series. Let us know if you're enjoying it. I would hope so, because we're working very hard on it. Tomorrow, you can tell from my excitement. Tomorrow, me and Kevin will be reviewing Terminator Genesis. Oh my god. I have watched the film.
I have to.
You guys are not gonna want to miss this at all. It probably will be the review of the year. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And look out for the Terminator Genesis review tomorrow. Yay. Stay safe and have a good one.